Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Well, it still says hosts, Jeremy and Daryl, but we all know the truth. There's the host, Daryl, the co-host, Jeremy. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 87 of the Chain Out Podcast. How you doing, Daryl?
Are you worthy enough to speak to the host of the podcast?
I don't know. That's host with a capital H, I'm sure.
I'm doing fantastic, Jeremy. How are you?
Doing well, doing good.
Good.
And not only are you the host, you also are the recent, I don't know, we haven't talked about it in a little while. We won't go deep into it, but we had a chain out battle at Bailey's as I was getting ready for Edmonton Open. I think I beat you once out of 3 rounds. You won the last one. We played with Kristen Swirls and Jason Miller.
Yeah.
Why don't you hold up that shiny tag you're holding right now that you've won?
Yeah. So whenever we do the chain out battle, we also play for tags because anytime, in our league, whenever you play in a competitive round, you can do it in practice rounds as well, but we play for tags. Back down to under 100. I was at 92 for a while. Then I went up to quite high. Then I'm down to 72. Now looking at the lovely number 59.
Yeah, 59 looks good on you. And for anybody out there who is looking for 59 because it's their favorite player, I don't know who that would be.
Right.
You can hit up Daryl maybe for a match and take that one away. And just out of curiosity for any of our listeners out there, if you've got a league tag, what number are you sitting with right now? And are you happy with it? Or are you trying to get a little better maybe?
Yeah. I've been as low as 13. That was my starting number because obviously I'm on the board. I got to pick, one of the privileges. That didn't last long.
Yeah, you thought maybe that everyone else would get unlucky trying to take it away from you maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Daryl, you had told me this week you got a chance to get out and create some content. And I was just wondering, is it content that we might see? How did it go? Because you told me what you were going to do.
Yeah.
So
I did what I told you I was going to do.
Okay.
But, and here's the thing. So everybody enjoyed I think everybody enjoyed my birdie or die, also known as must birdie the hole before you move on to the next one series. So I decided that I hadn't done anything in a while, so I wanted to get out and make some more content. And I figured, you know what? I've seen other people do it. One of our guests tonight has done it on his Instagram, where you go out to a relatively easy hole and you just see how many throws it takes to ace that hole.
Right.
So I thought what I would do is I would go to the shortest hole that we have on our public courses here. I went out to hole 5 at Rundle Park in Edmonton, and I figured I would set up an ace race and just record it and see how long it would take me to actually throw an ace.
Right. Okay.
Now, spoiler.
Okay, let's do it. Give us a spoiler.
Because whenever I make a story, I always say to you, I like a beginning, a middle, and an end. I don't like it without an ending. So I did complete the challenge.
Nice.
The downside to it, the camera wasn't quite set up correctly, or you do get to see everything, but it's not as nice as I would have liked it.
Okay.
And I have found out that my microphones, my DJI mics, no longer connect to my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I even ordered a new part. There's like a little connector that you can do that connects into your phone. You take it out because it can go for USB-C or for Apple Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a new one. I tried it yesterday and it's still just not registering in the phone as a device connected to it. So the audio, you can't really hear. I could do a voiceover and I could put it out. Maybe I'll put this out to the chat. If you're interested in watching me maybe throw an ace, I did have 2 cameras set up so you can actually see it going into the basket. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'm going to get a hold of another set of microphones and I'm just going to set up the camera a little bit differently and I will do it again.
Well, I think the one thing about what I know about you is your amazing technical abilities, your experience editing and directing and all of that. You have a high standard, a high level. But I've heard it spoken about before too as the minimum viable product as well. So what do you think? Do you think maybe the chat could tell us if you have the minimum viable product, you've got a throw, you've got 2 cameras, is that good enough even if you're not fully in frame?
Like we've said before, when we first started doing the podcast and we would do episodes and we would try it, don't let good get in the way of great.
Yes, that's true.
So that's the other thing that
that's going on that
that
way.
we could try as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get it out there, and then you just improve for the next one.
Yeah, but I feel like we're at a point now where, because I put out that birdie or die, and I think it was a fairly good a series,
Yes.
that it needs to be at least that quality for me to be able to put it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it out because we don't actually put out a lot of those challenges or series sort of things. So maybe I'll put it out. But the other thing I was going to do anyway is that wasn't going to be the only one. I was going to go to a couple different holes and then see if I could ace the relatively shorter holes.
Yep.
But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, it's, we can have the chat give us some comments. And while we're talking about the chat, do you want to shout anybody out? It looks like we got a few people in there tonight.
Oh, absolutely. We always got our we got a lot of our moderators in, so that's always a good thing that the people are in.
A lot of wrenches.
Yeah.
They're kicking everybody else out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Doc. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Sam.
That's who we can see in the comments.
Who's commenting right now anyway. Yeah.
Well, that's who we can see with the magic mirror. Other people might not have dropped their name in yet.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're in the chat, give us a wave.
Well, Daryl, the other thing that happened this past weekend was the Edmonton Open. I was practicing for it. You were coming out and helping me, and you were helping me choose discs as we got ready for that event. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it was such a good event, held over at the Sea Change Brewing Disc Park at Bailey's Crossing, another one of those mouthfuls of a course name.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-day B tier held at one course. And I kind of think it's always awesome. I played it 2 years ago. Last year I played River City because they kind of happen close together. So I alternate between the two.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And I played in MA40 and had the luxury of having a caddy every single round.
Nice.
Yeah. Mark Thompson caddied for me. So thanks to him. You came out and caddied for me. Thank you to you.
Did.
And thanks to Jenna Olson, who caddied for me on that last day. And, you're probably wondering just as much as anyone else, did I enjoy myself or did I not enjoy myself? And I think the reason being was because that course is so good and so strong that you can go out there, and if you play well, it can be the best day of your life.
Yeah.
And if you're playing just a little bit off, it can feel like the worst day of your life.
It can punish you.
Yeah, it can punish you. So I think what it was round 2. I shot a +4 on the course, and you were caddying for me, and I was telling you, I suck at disc golf. I'm the worst ever. But I still shot
a second round.
That was second round, yeah. And then I go out on the third round, and I feel pretty good about my round, and I shoot a +4. So it's weird how you can shoot the same score and feel two different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you are going to go look for me in the MA40 division at that tournament, you'll have to scroll down a little bit.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
You've played with me enough times.
Mm-hmm.
Which am I better at? Am I better at disc golf or am I better at caddying?
Well,
and I don't want to make it about me, but
you beat me most times we go out to play. So if it's in a comparison, I'd say you're good. Well, you're good at both. You know my discs. You know what I should throw. We don't always agree on what I should throw, and sometimes you're right, sometimes I'm right. So, but mostly you're right. So,
can you remember what happened on 16, right at the end? I think because you started on 17, so you finished on 16.
Yes.
And your last putt, or your outside circle, I believe.
That's right. I was just on the edge of circle.
And for anyone who doesn't know, hole 16 at Sea Change Park, it's if you're short of the basket, you're facing a downhill putt with OB behind.
Yes.
You're outside circle 1.
And it's a raised basket.
A raised basket. And what did you ask me?
I'm like, do I run this one or do I lay up? And I thought you were going to tell me lay up, but you looked at the scorecard and you're like, run it. And I don't know, the confidence of you telling me to run it. I'm like, well, if Daryl's telling me to run one of these, he must feel I can do it. And what did we do? We
ran it.
We got the birdie.
You got the birdie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. No, it was a good time. What did you think about the event from the amount that you were at it, not as a player, but more as a caddy and a spectator?
Well, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have done all three. I've been out there, my first year out there at the Edmonton Open, I was a spotter.
Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced it from a spotter's point of view. The next year I went out there and I played it.
Yeah. And
then this year I went out and caddied for you. I mean, I caddied the first year as well. So, I mean, I've seen it from all kind of angles. And like you said before, it's a great run tournament. As any other good tournament is, like there's things to do when your round is not on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, they've got the beer gardens, they've got seating areas, they've got shade, they've got, whatever you need out there in that regard. So yeah, I think it's a great event. Anyone in the Edmonton area or even outside the Edmonton area, with it being a B tier, if you want to come up and play it, you're playing a great course and you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, I would agree 100% on all of those things that you said. So also too, let's just do a big shout out as well to Calvin, Andrew, and Levi. They're the main organizers of the event, and on top of that, their families and friends and volunteers all help out with it too,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Just want to give a shout out to the chat. Tristan is also in the chat there as well. But I like what Doc says is that always run it, or at our age and at our speed walk it.
That is
Not so much a
amazing.
run, but more of a speed walk.
Well, and that's a fair point because even just traversing that course, whether you're trying to run a putt or
Yeah.
whether you're just trying to get from one hole to the next, some of those ones we have to take a break. You don't want to be first on the box because
Exactly.
you're still catching your breath by the time you get up to the tee
Yeah.
box. Well, let's do a quick little recap here, and then I think we're going to get to our first guest right away.
That sounds good.
So, for winners for the Edmonton Open, we want to congratulate MPO winner Thomas Kuhn, who beat three-time defending champ Casey Hannemeyer, earning himself 899 US bucks, which has got to be at least 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe Lorenz Bozer won the FPO. It was the fourth new winner in 4 years and had a 3-stroke lead over the 2024 winner Amber Chason, and she took home 268 bucks.
Yeah.
So, as we said, if you haven't checked it out, take a look, maybe join it next year. I did hear whispers, Daryl,
Yeah.
that Andrew, the owner,
Yeah.
wants to put another 18 out there.
Really?
Could you imagine 36 holes at Bailey's?
I don't know where that's going to go, but that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. All right, well, let's interrupt our top of the show.
Yes, exactly.
And let's jump to our first guest tonight. So
Yeah.
scrolling. Our first guest was on the show just last week. We had said, hopefully you'll have back-to-back wins and we'll get to talk to you again. He said, let's book it now, boys. And that's just what happened. Join us in welcoming Noah Higgins back to the show.
Guys,
Hey, Noah, how's it going?
good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm down at Penequin Park in Lethbridge playing a league round, and sometimes the cell service is a little spotty, so I'm glad to hear it's working okay.
All right.
It's good for now.
Yeah.
Say thanks
Great.
to your card mates as well for allowing you time to talk to us.
Yeah, you betcha.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's exciting too to have you on back to back. So, congratulations on another A-tier win, your second one in 2 weekends. How awesome is that?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, man. It's starting to feel like maybe I'm finally leveling up to the player I aspire to be. You never know, but it's definitely a good start, and I feel like in the last 2 weeks, I leveled myself up to be a different player than I was before. So it's
Yeah,
a huge extreme confidence boost for sure.
Yeah.
definitely seems like it.
And I bet you your co-card mates there at your league round are a little scared to have you back, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
How,
Maybe.
how how's the round going so far?
Okay. I had a really bad spit out on hole 1 for birdie. That was a really bad start to the round. But I think I'm 3 under through 6 holes right now.
Okay.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
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 Well, if we take a look at it, Noah, at BC Open, it wasn't until the last round where you caught up to the leader, you forced a playoff and won in exciting fashion. But when we looked at TCO, it looks like things went a little different. This time you had the lead for all 3 rounds, and it was Connell McLeod who went on a 3rd round heater to almost catch up to you, but fell short. So it was 2 very different tournament weekends. Which one was one more stressful for the other, or is there one that you preferred? How did it feel comparatively?
I mean, TCO and really winning any A tier is a huge accomplishment and an amazing feeling. But the win at BC Open was really really special. Um, I think I had a good recipe for those 2 tournaments because I went into BC Open kind of hoping for a top 10 finish. I think I told this to you guys last week.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have crazy high expectations, so I went in, just to enjoy my time and whatnot. I think because of the low expectations, I ended up winning. And then when it came to TCO, I kind of had the mindset of I just won BC Open. Like I would get last place this weekend, and I wouldn't give a crap. Like I would still be just on cloud 9. So
Yeah.
I think that was also a huge part of the reason why I did well at TCO, was because I really was on top of the world, and it didn't. I mean, obviously I want to play good, but like going into round 1, it honestly just felt like I was playing a casual round because I was just so. It's like I honestly almost wasn't that focused,
Yeah.
and I somehow still played really good. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And we kind of you've answered a bit of our next question, because when we looked at the cards over the weekend, you had 29 birdies and one eagle over the 3 rounds. I don't know if you added them up, but that was the math that we got. And maybe it was just coming off that win and that relaxed play. And did you think the courses kind of lined up to your play style?
for sure. Rose Hill, I mean, I haven't played Rose Hill in Kamloops since 2023, and it's been completely redesigned. Well, like not completely, but a vast majority of it has been redesigned since I was last there. They put in a lot of mandos and stuff, so that you couldn't really cheat the course. Like you can't throw a huge hyzer over top of the trees on every hole like you could before. You kind of have to play the lines through the trees. So that's
Right.
not particularly the strongest part of my game, but I just maybe coming off Raptors Knoll and having a few, there's a few shots in that course too. You kind of just have to, play the straight shot. Maybe I was feeling warmed up for that kind of course, but yeah, I honestly wouldn't say that the courses suit my game that well. But
Hmm.
I just right now I'm just on fire to put it
Yeah.
lightly, I guess. Like
Yeah.
it's a pretty nice feeling when the game just feels super easy, and
Yeah.
right now it does. And
Yeah.
I try to be humble about it, and everyone goes through the ups and downs, but the honest truth is right now I just disc golf feels easy right now.
Yeah. And there's one thing about being humble about it, but also on the flip side, like take the wins. Take the fact that you're playing well and everything, like you said, everything you touch is turned into gold almost, it feels like. Out of the weekend
For
there,
sure.
do you have a highlight or two that something that kind of stands out for you, maybe on the course or even off the course?
Um,
I mean,
we've
we know
had
that
some
you were
fun.
staying with disc golf royalty, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that's fun. Hanging out with good friends, creating memories that'll last a lifetime. That's obviously a huge part of it. As far as on the course during the tournament goes, probably honestly my first like 3 holes of the tournament in round one. On hole one, I made like a 45 footer for birdie to start.
Mm.
Hole two, I had a tap in birdie, and then hole three, I had like a 60-foot straddle putt with a low ceiling that I made dead center.
Wow.
And
Whoa.
then once I made that, I was kind of like, okay, maybe it's gonna be one of those days. Maybe it's gonna be my weekend again. We'll see. But
Yeah.
one thing that sticks out to me during the final round on hole one, Connell, uh, he crushed his drive. Everyone kind of laid up, and he went way down the fairway, crushed his drive. He threw his upshot, and his. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee it was going OB, but I'm pretty certain he was going too far and skipping and sliding OB, and he hit a deer that was
Wow.
laying
What?
down along the fence. Yeah. And no one saw it. It was like kind of the shot kind of goes like a little bit over the knoll, and the
Right.
Yeah.
deer was out of sight. It slid in, it hit the deer. The deer sprung up and walked away, and his disc was in bounds. That was like probably a first for me. And then
Yeah.
on the very next hole, on hole two, he hit the band for the ace,
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
and then dropped in bounds like right there. Like when like hole two at Mac Allen's on like the basket's tucked in the little corner. There's
Mhm.
OB like 5 feet away all around it, and he hit the band and just dropped straight down and stayed in bounds. That was probably
Wow.
one of the most unique starts to a round I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back if I've ever been on a round where somebody hit a deer and stayed in bounds. No,
No.
I think that would be a highlight. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think
Well,
we've seen hitting.
I said to the card mates, I said to my card mates, I said that the only thing I could think of that relates to deer is like that video of Gannon putting when the deer comes out of the bushes
Right.
and of Gannon bird putting and the deer
Yeah.
walks out of the bushes and like ices him. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yes.
I think this is cooler than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for those people that haven't played TCO, would you recommend getting them getting out to Kamloops and having a look next year?
Absolutely. TCO is one of the best, if not the best, like player experience tournaments. There's always stuff to do related to the tournament outside
Right.
of playing. Like the first night, they did trivia at Tournament Central, which is super fun. Then the next night, they do karaoke night. There's all sorts of places in Kamloops to go. Kamloops is a really nice city. Lots of good
Yeah.
food and good people. Yeah, TCO is one of my favorites. I think it's probably one of my favorites because I get to go stay with Carrie and see
Yeah.
Thomas and Chance and my people. So that's really nice. But TCO, if you're looking for an amazing player experience, TCO is the place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, Noah, normally we like to, after these events, we'll like to break down the rounds. We're going to do that once we let you go because we know that you're going to have to get back out there. But we did look and we see that next weekend, you've got the NADGT Canada Premier NWP Cole Dearborn Gut Shot. Did I get it all, Dale?
I think so.
Yeah. Out in
Yeah.
Elkford. And that's one of the ones
Yeah.
that Kevin King is running. So we know anything that he's touching is going to be another good event. So are you pretty excited to go out
Totally.
there? And have you played that Elkford course before?
Yeah. I've played that tournament and that course a bunch of times.
Yep.
I haven't been there in a few years, but yeah, I'm super stoked. Kevin's one of my really good buddies, and stoked to go to his tournament and support him out there and go camping in the trailer. The trailer's been sitting in the driveway for a month, which is pretty unusual during disc golf season. So
Right.
Right.
getting to take the trailer out again is nice, and go with Rebecca and spend some time with her, especially since I just went on a 2-week trip without her. So
Yeah.
Right.
taking Rebecca out to the tournament and having her with me will be super nice, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think she always loves to come out and support you for sure. And of
100%
course,
she
we
loves it.
we know that Prodigy is your main sponsor and you're happily sponsored by them. Which disc was the disc that was the one that was treating you best this weekend? Did you have one that you just every time you pulled out of the bag, it was golden?
Well, I'm staring at my bag right now. My phone is currently propped up on top of my bag. uh, Probably like my. If I pull it out, I'm probably gonna knock my phone off. Let me try. My Chantel Budinsky
Oh.
signature series.
D1, D2?
Spectrum Air D2. D2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like, it's a 157, but it's like still one of the beefiest drivers in my bag.
Right.
okay.
And it's got tons of stability, but it's light, so it's super easy to throw. Super good for forehands. I have kind of a little bit of a weak forehand, so throwing a light disc is super good, and it just bombs forever, and it's super reliable. So probably that. But other than that, just my putters. My
On
putting was
fire.
fantastic this whole trip. So yeah,
Oh,
my
great.
putters are definitely probably my favorites.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Well, I think Chantel will be great to hear that you've got one of her discs in the bag and that you're throwing with that. It's good
Sure.
that Canadians supporting Canadians is always great. So
Totally. Yeah, it's
yeah,
probably my favorite driver in my bag. I really like it.
Nice.
cool. Well, you should get back out there and finish that round and show those guys that you're not going to be hitting band or missing putts anymore for the rest of the night. So
Yeah, I'll try.
okay, thanks for joining us and good luck this weekend, Noah.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
Okay. See ya.
Bye bye.
Here you go, Daryl. That's a quick recap. That's
was-
probably one of our fastest ones we've ever done.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. So, but we did mention it there, having Noah on, and I think we'll get into doing the rounds a little bit there. But it was good for him to give us like 10 minutes of his time. He's
Oh,
doing a
absolutely.
sanctioned league tonight. But I don't know if you know, but that's the third time we've had a guest join us from the course.
Well, let me throw my mind. Well, I know one of them.
Yeah. And the other one,
Yeah.
because we'll mention the other one, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other one was actually just recently, if you remember, was Coda Postma joined us
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
when we did the spring runoff recap. So maybe Noah saw that and said, "Hey, I could join from the course
Yeah.
too." But
And you know what? As much as him saying, "Can we hear him?" Because sometimes the reception is spotty.
Mhm.
Like his picture was clearer than sometimes we've had guests in houses on Wi-Fi.
oh, and that blue sky
I know.
background,
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I
that
was thinking,
great.
is he on his green screen? Is he not really there? Like that was perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, Coda Postma was our one other guest, and then of course, who was the first guest to come on?
Yeah,
From a
exactly.
course.
We can't not mention Scott Stokely being out on a disc golf course while talking to us, and of course, famously
Yes.
getting a black ace while on the podcast,
Yeah. that
filmed from multiple angles. We caught it.
We need to bring that one back because I think there was one we saw that Scott posted the time he got an ace when he was on a podcast, and that was the video from his end.
Yeah.
But then there was also the video from our side because we were doing this podcast. We had him up on screen when it was all happening.
Yeah.
And I remember at first it was a little bit tough because the cell reception wasn't that great out there, but I wouldn't trade that black ace for good reception any day.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, Jessica will be joining us here this afternoon or this evening as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit here, and we'll jump to talk to her when she comes in. We can probably jump back to top of show.
Yeah.
But we talked about that we always like to recap the rounds because it really gives you a feel for how the player played. So we know that Noah won the tournament, but how did he do it?
Right.
I got a bit of it here. You want to help me with this one?
Sure.
I'll go with the first round.
Yeah, go for it.
So in round 1, when Noah was out there, he shot the hot round.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 1049 rated -10, Daryl.
Yeah.
He did 8 birdies and 1 eagle with no bogeys to get that -10. Talk about a round, hey?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Talking about, would you rather get -10 with 12 birdies and 14 or like 2 bogeys,
Yes, right.
or completely clean with an eagle in there as well?
Exactly. I think that's the way you'd want to do it. And so that first round, his closest competitors were Thomas Gilbert and Gavin Boss, and they were 4 strokes behind him as they shot -6 rounds. And that's how round 1 took place. Tell everybody about round 2.
Again, round 2, he goes out and shoots the hot round, a 1029 rated, -8, 11 birdies this time, a bogey and a double bogey. Thomas Gilbert and Gavin Boss both shoot a -6 to hold on to second, but they were still 6 shots behind Noah's overall -18 score. Connell matched Noah with the -8 hot round.
Right.
He jumped up 3 spots up to 4th place, but he was still 7 strokes behind Noah at that point.
Yeah. So going into round 3, and he's got 7 strokes.
Insane, right?
Yeah, I'd call that a little bit of a healthy lead going into round 3. And then Connell McLeod, though, it kind of makes sense after hearing him say he had all the luck on his side and he was playing well. He's hits a band for an ace. He has a deer. Just say, it's okay. Slide your disc up near me. I'll keep it in bounds.
In your mind, it slid up to him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It slid up very gently and was just about to stop.
Just bumped him, and then he kicked it back in bounds.
That's right. But so Connell goes on a tear in the 3rd round, and he gets a total out of the 18 holes. He birdies 14 of them.
That's insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
And Noah's playing pretty well himself, but Connell gets within 2 strokes of Noah going to hole 18. And so here's what, as I was writing this up, I was wondering, I was trying to put myself in Noah's head and saying, what was he thinking here? Because he ended up taking a bogey on the final hole, but he had 2 strokes in hand. So my guess is that he knows that Connell has to get an ace,
right,
to even tie him up. So I'm guessing he probably just played Connell stroke for stroke. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, for 2 reasons. One, we spoke to Noah last week, and in that playoff, he mentioned that there was a dogleg right hole, and young Noah, if we want to call him young Noah,
Right.
would have tried the Anheuser flex around the corner, tried to get up near the basket, but new Noah, older Noah, more wise Noah,
Yes,
said, you know what, I'm going to stick to my game plan. I'm going to play up to the corner because Colin still had to make a 40-foot putt. So he laid up to the corner, he laid up under the basket, and then took the par, and they both ended up getting par. So I think he probably would have, known that he had 2 shots. Taking a bogey would have been okay.
right.
And I know that's one of those stats where it still counts as a missed putt. It still counts as a C1 missed putt sort of thing. So, don't believe everything on stats, even though they bogey the last hole. It's normally just them laying up because they want to tap in that win.
Yeah, and you're right, because if you just look at a scorecard alone and you see that, okay, they're within 2 strokes and Noah took a bogey on the last hole, you're like, oh my gosh, it was so close. And it wasn't close at all.
No, it wasn't close.
Yeah,
it was on purpose.
Exactly. Well, why don't we start to get ready for our next guest? I was going to go back to the top of the show because we could talk about what's going on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. But if
we can come back to that.
Yeah, if we've got another guest in the waiting room,
we have a guest waiting. So why don't we just jump right ahead?
All right.
Yeah.
Are you how's the green room looking right now? Is the green room looking okay?
Green room's looking good. I mean, I'm not, through the magic of the internet and all that. I'll just say, I'll shout back to the green room and say to the guest, if you're ready, do you want to just give us a bit of a thumbs up to let us know that you're ready to go?
And as I'm doing that,
we can go. We can go right into the
All right. So next up, we have a first-time guest on the show. Our next guest is from New Hamburg, Ontario, and has been playing FPO since 2022. She's played 10 events this year with 4 podiums and 3 wins, the most recent being this past weekend at the Tournament Capital Open.
Yeah.
So join us in welcoming Jessica Goulet to the podcast.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Not sure if my audio is connected, but you guys hear me all right?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you nice and clear. You might get an echo
Perfect.
from us. Sometimes that happens, but don't worry too much about that.
All right, lovely.
So, Jessica, when we were messaging with you, you had mentioned that you were still going to be in BC this week. So, where are you joining us from tonight, and what brought you out west?
Yeah, so I'm actually in Victoria right now, down by the harbor.
Look at that.
And I honestly, yeah, very beautiful. So I had originally planned to fly out to BC to surprise a friend for her 30th birthday. And then I was going to visit my friend in Vic and kind of make a trip of it. And then I glanced to see where the tournaments were and if we can maybe coincide a tournament while we were out there. And Kamloops popped up. So we last minute booked a trip to Kamloops.
Oh,
Really
that's
happy we
awesome.
did too.
Yeah, I would think so at this point for sure. And I'm looking now that you say that you're in Victoria and I see your background there. I've been out there a few times. Is that the area where all the houseboats are and the kind of the seals or the sea lions in the water?
That's exactly it.
Get on the
No
right one.
sea lions today, so far. But yeah, all the boathouses. Looking at the real estate out here, it's pretty beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So we want to say first off, congratulations on the big win this past weekend. And looking at PDGA, we saw you have 10 career wins, but this is your first A tier win. How does it feel to add an A tier to your list of accomplishments?
Yeah, it feels really good. I feel like I've been really happy with my game this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like really stoked to see the results coming in. And first A tier feels pretty great.
Yeah.
Just didn't realize I'd have to go to the West Coast to get it.
If you'd known, you would have done it a long time ago. Is that what you're telling us?
Oh yeah, kind of upset I didn't come down for the BC Open. I didn't realize that was the weekend before, and that looked like a really great field with a lot of great competitors. And
Mm-hmm.
I've actually never been to Raptors Knoll, so that would have been an awesome experience as well. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we have had tournament director Carrie Neal on the show many times, and she's going to be joining us again tonight. And I had a chance to play TCO a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And what did you think, kind of, as of that tournament and of the Kamloops courses being the first time that you've been out to it?
It was awesome. I had, again, no expectations. All I really know is Ontario for disc golf. And when it comes to municipal parks, they're typically 9 holes or like turf um, tee pads.
Mm-hmm.
So when we showed up to MacArthur and it was all cement and a full 18-hole course with some longer shots, I was just blown away. And with all the marmots, it was kind of like a whole new vibe playing with new disc golf buddies.
Yeah.
Um, and then so we actually showed up the Thursday before. We flew in pretty late on the Wednesday and went straight to Kamloops from Vancouver, got our practice round in at MacArthur, and then left Rose Hill for our evening practice round. And kind of wish we had more time to spend there because that's my top 5 most beautiful scenic courses I've ever seen. Um, you're
Right.
on top of cliffs. You got a lot of hills. You got a lot of cool shapes and trees. It
Mm-hmm.
was, yeah, really special. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. And super great tournament. The TDs were super fantastic, always helping and but also maintaining like a pretty chill vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
That's
great
always
for the
good.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was all around just a really great experience.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
Carrie's awesome. Just speaking with her, I felt like I knew her already. It was really special. And I know she's done a lot for the sport and a lot for BC disc
Yeah.
golf. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah. Absolutely. We would say this exactly the same.
Hmm.
So while you're out there in Kamloops, was it just all disc golf that you were focused on, or did you get a chance to go out and check some of the sites and tour around a little bit as well? If you did, what kind of highlights you had out there?
Yeah, we definitely intended on it. But I think we were just a little, I want to say jet lagged. Like we didn't leave the country, but a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still lost a couple hours. And we were visiting with our friends' parents. They happened to live in Kamloops. So we spent
Oh.
our evenings with them. And they kind of showed us other disc golf courses.
Oh yeah.
Um, went in Kamloops. So we went to West Side, I believe it was, which is a pretty beginner friendly. So we were actually bringing my friend's parents out and we bought them a couple discs from the tournament to try and get them into it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
fantastic.
yeah.
Oh, good. Well, Jessica, on the podcast, when we do an A tier recap, what we try to do for our listeners and for ourselves, I think too, hey, Daryl,
Yeah, exactly.
is we try to bring the tournament to life with the guests. So we follow along on PDGA over the weekend, and the scorecard only tells us so much. So what we're going to do is we really quickly recap your round from what we can see, and then we'll ask you a couple of questions. You can always correct us if we got something wrong, and hopefully you can add a bit more flavor to the weekend for us. So if you're ready, we'll go with round one. And when we look at that, you started off on Rose Hill Whites and you shot an even round with 4 birdies, 4 bogeys. This puts you in second place, 1 stroke behind the leader of the day being Terry Hong, and 2 strokes ahead of Joe Henderson, who was in third. How did you feel about your first round? Did you have a plan? And if so, did you execute it as you'd drawn it up?
So because our practice round and the first time at that course was the night before, and we were pretty juiced by the time we got out there, so we weren't throwing, like we didn't play a full round, so we were just mainly there to walk the course and kind of get an idea of our plan. And there was also no wind. So I had like an idea of what I was going to do on that course. And then we got out there, played a couple holes, and I think it was hole 6, the one on the cliff side, where the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
wind just started piping through. And there goes all the plans. Or was it 7? 7 with the cliff? Um, anyway, so I had a general outline. There was a whole 4, I think it is, where I didn't even know where the line would be. I think you just have to go backhand, but it's fairly like narrow.
Hmm.
Okay.
So in practice, I threw a couple forehands to get under the tree and just push up like forward, and
Yeah.
without success in practice. And I just chalked it up to it's just I'm tired, I don't know, and then really executed those shots during the tournament, which was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then I did find the cliffside on hole 7.
Yeah, that
So
can
yeah,
happen.
I had a general idea. Um, a lot of forehands. It was a very if there's a hole, sorry, if there's a forehand line to be found, I will find it. And Rose Hill kind of made that possible, so that was pretty great. Um, so yeah, just kind of a
So
lot of them were placement on
we're
get through the first.
I don't want to cut you off. We're just losing you on your audio, Jessica. So I don't know if you want to just leave and rejoin the studio because your picture is fine. Your audio is getting a bit distorted for us. So if you want to just
Come back
come
to us
back
and
and then come back into the studio again, we'll
yeah.
'cause we
And
want to hear exactly what happened there, right?
that's right. And we'll
Yeah.
get a little bit more from her here before, and
Yeah.
hopefully that audio works for her. It looks like, she's on vacation. She's out in Victoria. So we got Noah sitting in a nice blue sky
Yeah.
background. And now you got her with the harbor
You,
behind
you
her.
know what that is making me think?
Yes.
We need to take the podcast outside one of these days.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say we got to go on the road.
Well, that too.
There you go.
Okay. Hopefully we can hear you again now. Although it doesn't sound like it. It still sounds like you're digitized.
And we'll give you a chance there and see if that helps out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
Let me
Now we
change
can
it
hear you.
on the toggle here.
There you go. That's awesome. We're perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we
So
appreciate that.
yeah, we kind of got the just there that you made the throws in the round. You didn't quite hit them in the practice round there. But moving on to round 2,
Yeah.
we just want to say so you moved over to MacArthur Island Reds. Started off with a hot round with a turkey of 3 birdies in a row. You kept the momentum going. You're picking up 6 more birdies and finishing with a -6. That jumped you right up to first place with a 5-stroke lead now over Terry Hong. Was MacArthur Island course, was that a bit easier for you? Or what do you feel contributed to your great play there on day 2?
I think MacArthur definitely played a lot easier. The holes were, I guess, shorter or within my range of what I like am able to throw, and it was very forehand friendly. So I was
Oh,
able
okay.
to pump out a couple forehands to give myself a look at birdie, or yeah. And my I would say my jump putts were really on that day, so that also helped. Um, yeah, and I feel like I left a little bit out there.
Right.
I had
Oh,
the par 5 on 17 or 16. I threw 2 really good forehands to give myself an in circle putt, and I just got super excited that I was probably 6 down at the time and had a look for eagle, and then I just sailed it. And that had been probably the first putt miss of the day.
Right.
And then I was like, all right, don't sweat it. I'll just come back with a birdie here, and then doink that one as well. I was like, uh, that's all right. But yeah, I'd say my forehands were definitely pivotal in like giving myself birdie looks on a lot of
Right.
the holes. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, played really well to my game. MacArthur Island did.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's good because so round 3 you stayed out at MacArthur Island. You started off strong again.
Mhm.
Another 6 birdies on the front 9. You got another 3 birdies on the back 9. Joe Henderson was also out there, like we mentioned before. She was also playing well, managed to tie your hot round of -8. But unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately for you, that wasn't enough to reduce the cushion you had over the first 2 days. So, did having a 5-stroke lead going into that final round, did that change your mindset on how you approach that final day?
I was definitely still quite nervous, and my friend's parents were going to come out and follow the card, and it was their first time watching disc golf, and I was telling them all about my game, and they knew everything was going on, so I
Yeah.
was um, pretty nervous, but my mindset was if I have a 5-stroke lead, and I know I could execute hole 1, 2, 3. Um, and if I get a jump start with those holes, then now I have maybe a 7, 8 stroke lead, and then I
Yeah.
can kind of coast from there. And other than the island hole, which is hole number 2, I just short and hit the brick wall.
Okay.
I feel like I followed through on that plan. So as soon as I had the 8 stroke buffer, I felt pretty confident. Like I
Yeah.
pretty hard to, and there you have it.
There's a
There's the
podcast going
harper.
on. Okay,
Sorry
well, we
about
won't take
that.
too much more of your time here.
Okay.
No.
But yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, I got a chance to get that trophy, that cool owl trophy. And then I guess where we wanted to go with you next was just because you've come out from the East. So we've had a chance in the past to talk with Colleen McInnes, Kat Johnson, Chantel Badinsky, Alicia Hums, Karen Martell, the Ontario and Quebec FPOs. And they're all probably ones that you've played with many times and they're all really amazing. But what was it like for you to come out and get to play with Gabby Lee, Terry Hong, Joe Henderson, and all the Western FPOs?
So awesome. The FPOs back home, we're all playing together always, and it's a really great community. Everybody supports each other, and I of course wasn't sure. I've never actually played in a field I've never played with before, because I've never not played at home. So it was like 6 brand new women, and they were fantastic, so supportive, and just love to talk disc golf, which is really great. That's what I'm about. So, and I think my game plays quite different to their game, just because I am a forehand dominant player.
Mhm.
So it's just neat to see how the West Coast like to throw, what kind of lines they go after. And you could tell that because they play together, they're all really close as well. And it was just really special to be a part of that, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you notice is there kind of like an East Coast game and a West Coast game? Like, did you feel like it was any different, or just maybe because they knew the courses a bit more?
Yeah, they knew the courses a bit more. There is a slight difference, but I can't put my finger on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just still very, everyone was super supportive, but yeah, the game itself, I couldn't describe it.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah, and we know that going to Victoria, you're already a great disc golfer. You've just won this tournament, but you're now at the place where Gabby Lee is from. You're at the place where Sophia Donica
Yeah.
is from. We've also got, who else do we got out there? Christy Lee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players out in Victoria. So yeah, so hopefully you can absorb some more of that and bring
We
it
said
home
there's
with you.
something in the water out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, honestly. And we actually managed to get out to Salt Spring Island and play a course out there while we were out here. So that's never done with disc golf, hoping to get a couple more in.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
and hopefully come across one of them while we're out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, one of the other things as we kind of get towards the end here with you, Jessica, is we see that you're registered for Canadian Nationals this fall. And we are super excited because we're going to be heading out there too. And we're going to be playing Cedar Creek, Newcastle, and Project 15 is what it looks like at the moment. So we need to know from you, do you have any tips for us or maybe some shots we should be practicing? Anything that's going to help us out for when we get out to Ontario?
Right. Super excited for that. I actually have a tournament, not this weekend, but the following weekend called the Lou, Lake Ontario Open. So it's those courses. And it's
Right.
kind of like a practice run through for Daryl, the TD, to
Yeah.
get a feel of it, to better prepare. But my one advice to you would be to stay on the fairway. So whatever you got to do, flip up forehand, backhand, hyzer flip, whatever you got to do to stay on the fairway, that's what you're going to want for this
Right.
tournament.
Okay.
I think we've heard
Yeah,
that advice
beautiful.
before.
Yeah.
Stay in the fairway because it'll punish
Yeah.
you if you get off it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be disking down and throwing straight shots as best we can. We don't know how yet, but we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
We got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got time. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing we noticed is that you're going to be, as soon as you get back home, you're going to be playing the Eastern Canadian Amateur Nationals at some point here. And that's another one of the Canadian A tiers that we work to promote and we try to recap after it's done. So we're hoping you have a great event there and maybe we'll be getting to chat with you again as another A tier winner twice in 1 year.
Awesome. Yeah, I've actually never played the FPO field out there. I've only been out once when I was FA1. And it felt pretty early in my disc golf experience and like they were challenging courses, but it'll be fun to play those courses now with a different game and different discs in the bag. So yeah, I look forward to that too. I'll hopefully chat with you guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we let you
Yeah.
go, we thank you very much for your time. Is there any sponsors? Is there anything else you wanted to shout out or people you want to thank?
I'd love to shout out everyone, but I am currently not sponsored. So if there's any takers, I'm available.
There you
Okay.
go. That's awesome.
Well,
But
that's
I would, sorry,
yeah.
I will thank the TD though, and for such a great tournament, and just even the whole BC disc golf community. Everybody was so great throughout the whole tournament. So I'd like to thank them.
Definitely.
go.
Well, we can tell you one of them is actually in the green room right now, and I'm sure they heard that thank you from you. So that's awesome. And we hope too, Jessica, that maybe, we do get a little bit of reach out there across Canada, and maybe someone says, "What? Jessica Goulet, A-tier winner, TCO, not sponsored? We got to get that figured
Hit
out."
me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Love to
Fantastic.
hear from you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, perfect. Well, again, we thank you for your time. We, like Jeremy said, we'll hopefully be speaking to you again in the future. If not as an A-tier winner, who knows? Maybe we'll be speaking to you again some other point. So we'll definitely see you out at Nationals anyway.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah,
And I hope to speak to you guys soon.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
See you later.
Okay. See you. Bye.
I love getting new guests, Daryl. It's always fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially like we said, two guests out and about, just enjoying. I think that's got to be one of the new things. Is like where's the most unique place a guest can join us from?
Yeah.
So we had Scott on an island. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
And now we got Jessica sitting there with the Victoria Harbor behind her.
Yeah. We had Clea Adair sitting out at the Smith Lake farm with all the bees and the farm and the animals and everything like that. So yeah, we've been lucky to get lots of different people from lots of different places.
That's right.
Yeah.
And speaking of lots of different people, we've got two more people to join us.
Just rolling.
Do you like that segue?
This is good.
So we have two more guests for you tonight. And if you're an avid Chain Out podcast listener, you will be familiar with one of the guests, as I'm known to call her a Canadian disc golf legend. Can you next time, can you get a little echo
on
effect?
that one? Yeah.
Legend,
Okay.
legend. And joining her will be a guest who is a past president of the BC Disc Golf Association, is sponsored by Dynamic Discs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So together, the two of them are the tournament directors for the Tournament Capital Open. Join us and welcome.
Hey, look at that. I got it working. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Wow. Well, you?
Very good. Thank you. Yeah.
Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And welcome, Carrie, and good to have you back on the show. And then welcome, Chad, to your first time on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting here, Carrie. That background of yours keeps showing up on our show.
Yeah.
You know, you were on a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, and then Noah
Yeah,
was
Noah
on.
was on last week. Yeah.
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 And now you're back again. So, well, I think what we want to start with anytime we do an A tier recap, when we have TDs on after a big tournament, we always want to start by checking in. We want to make sure you guys are doing okay. Have you had a chance to finish up all the tournament duties? Have you had a chance to get some rest yet? Where are you guys at? And I know we've got two of you, so you can take turns answering as you like.
Well, Chad
Um,
takes care of the background of everything for TCO, so I'll let him tell you where all that's at.
yeah, I actually had the TD report submitted Sunday night after the tournament. All the payouts sent to the club to pay the people out, which I believe has started already. Yeah, everything's submitted, everything is good to go, buttoned up, and that's really a couple hours after the event finishes. I don't usually let that stuff drag on too long. Just want to get it over with and get it done with, and make sure the PGA gets it on time. And
There you go.
Yeah.
Efficient. That's what I like to see.
There you go. We've
Yeah.
talked to Carrie before, and you've always
Yeah.
said, Carrie, it takes a whole team. Well, I think we know who one of those members of the team is who's making sure everything goes well. Hey?
Absolutely. I'll say it all the time. If I didn't have Chad in the back end, my brain would melt out my ears. Like the stuff that he takes care of. Like if you're registering, requesting a refund, you've requested your refund too late, and he has to be the hammer that tells you there's no money involved. Anything that's like, we'll get into it later, but when I screw up and split the AMs and pros and don't do it properly, Chad cleans up my mess. So I'm really lucky to have him wanting to TD alongside me.
There you go.
That's awesome. So if we look at the event, TCO, Tournament Capital Open, it's been a staple tournament in Canada for ever since I've been around disc golf, probably you as well, Jeremy. I was just going to say, how many years has the TCO, how many years has the tournament been going on? And I seen you put up your four fingers there.
Yes. Yeah, this is the 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
fourth year, yeah. And I know, I think we've talked about it before in the past, maybe when you first came on. When I first started playing disc golf, I played a Tundra Toss, a winter tournament, a C tier, just a little local 1 day event. And then my next event was, hey, I got a buddy out in the Kamloops area. Why don't I go play TCO? And I had that really big eye-opening experience and welcome into disc golf. And it's hard to believe it's only been 4 years, because even at that
Yeah.
point, the tournament was already running on all cylinders. So.
Well, you were probably one of the few, well, not few, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
When we got our survey back in 2022, 10% of the people at TCO, this was their first A tier ever played.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you're part of that stat.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, the tournament has also been played on a number of different courses over the years. So when I played out there, there was Logan Lake, MacArthur Island, there was Rose Hill at that point. But this year you had a chance to debut a new course for some of the players, being Dick Hart. And then you also got to bring back a player's favorite, bringing back Rose Hill that wasn't played that last year. So if one of you wants to tell us how things went with Dick Hart, and then maybe tell us what players thought of having Rose Hill back.
Do you want to talk about Dick Hart, Chad?
Yeah, overall, like I don't have the stats handy for MA1 right now just because I can't find them. But MA40, like 13 holes played under par, but then there were 6 holes or 5 holes that didn't have a birdie. So obviously there's a little bit of course tweaking needed there. But as a first tournament, I think it went pretty well. I think everybody enjoyed it. I heard nothing but good comments about the course. There's some flow issues out there that needs to be addressed, but as a course that people played, uh, I heard nothing but good things about it, to be honest with you.
Same.
And then having Rose Hills back, it's better than it's ever looked. The club has put immeasurable amounts of work into that course. It's absolutely crazy what it looks like these days and how it's playing, and I think everybody was super excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there was probably some, and there was, because we talked about it last year, Carrie. There was some disappointment that it wouldn't be in there, but there was so many factors that were beyond your control with what was going on with the utilities and such. But just to have, from everything we've heard about the change in the layout, the adding of all the landscaping rocks, the tee pads, everything that's there, it just must be like the phoenix from the ashes type thing to have it back now. And that's fantastic.
It's very cool, and it definitely was a highlight for a lot of players. To tag on to what Chad said about Dick Hart, the stats he has and what he's talking about is the reason why the pros didn't play it. It just
Right.
wasn't the course we wanted to showcase to the professionals. Like, there's no concrete tee pads, the flow isn't that great. And we did have Thomas and Chance and Noah go out and play it on one of the days that they weren't playing, and they brought back some super valuable feedback. And there definitely will be a few little tweaks and changes done before we lay concrete in and tighten up the course map. So yeah, it was
Right.
nice to have them be able to play it and give that feedback. So yeah.
Yeah.
So our
Yeah.
hope is to have it as a pro course next year.
Okay.
It'd be awesome.
And when you talk about that course, because we haven't had a chance to see it, I haven't actually even gone to UDIS to kind of check the layout
Mhm.
out. Is it up in the hills as well? Is it down in a valley? What's kind of the general layout of the Dick Hart course?
It's not part way. It's about a third of the way up to Sun Peaks in an area around Heffley Lake. So it has
Okay.
lots of tall, towering pines, and it kind of sits on a plateau above the valley. So very different. It'll be three different courses. Like we have pine trees at Rose Hill, but we
Mhm.
have like towering pines with like carved fairways through them at Dick Hart. So, and beautiful views when you get out to the bluffs and stuff. So it's going to be very different again than what you would play at Rose Hill. Very complimentary.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so for people that haven't played TCO, let's tell them that TCO isn't just 3 rounds of disc golf and then go home. There's so much more after the rounds to experience. Let's
Yep.
talk about some of the other events that happened on the weekend. On Wednesday, it started off with the Battle of Big Maple. Sorry,
Yep.
Battle of Big Maple with Thomas Gilbert.
Yep.
And that was over at MacArthur Island. How did that go?
I believe he opened up 45 spots
Yeah.
on disc golf scene, and I want to say he had 50 people play. So,
Wow.
and I heard nothing but
Yeah.
amazing. Like, people loved it. They had so much fun. Like, I heard no one say, "Oh, that was a waste of money." Like, everyone was like, "I'll do it again if he comes back next year."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't a one and done experience. And that's the thing
No.
about Thomas. Like you did
Yeah.
Daryl just had a chance to see Thomas at Smith Lake Farms, and I think he got that
Yeah.
firsthand experience as
Oh
well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So generous with his time, going out there,
So
giving back
generous.
to, yeah, absolutely. And we've spoken to him before about the other big maple events that he's put on as well. And
Mhm.
I'm sure they've all gone, exactly the same. Why wouldn't you want to play in an event that you actually get a chance to play a hole with Thomas Gilbert
That's
with
right.
his disc as well? So it's just amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And we didn't do anything on Thursday night, just because short of volunteers and people's sanity, and we knew we had Friday and Saturday activities planned. So Friday was trivia and Saturday was karaoke. So both were attended. Probably over the course of the evening of karaoke, coming and going, maybe 100 people. And trivia had about 60 people at it. And the pros, Thomas and Chance and Noah, were at both all evening, so making themselves totally available to the players. So,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
was all free. Like, trivia was free and there was prizes, karaoke was free. So yeah.
So while you're speaking about the trivia, I think it was maybe you that you mentioned it before. I'm not sure. Somebody mentioned that Thomas is a bit of a trivia nut, like to try and take
Yeah.
Thomas down. Were you at the trivia? Do you know how Thomas performed at the trivia night? Because I really want to know if he was that good.
It was mostly music, so music from
Ah,
across the eras with disc golf sprinkled in at the end of each one. So, and he knew all the answers to the disc golf ones for sure.
Right. That's fair.
there you go.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. And then yeah, so you kind of covered the karaoke or sorry, the trivia there, but also on the karaoke, like you've mentioned to us before, Carrie, that Luc Levesque has been out last year and he sang in French and that was a good moment. So Chad or Carrie, was there any memorable karaoke moments, either memorable because they were so amazing or memorable because you'd like to try and forget them?
Uh-huh. I might have done an Eminem song with Chance at the end of the night after way too many drinks.
Okay, the next big
Not one
question is
can't
there
hold it
video
to me.
footage?
Somewhere there is multiple. I looked up and I was just like, there's cameras everywhere. Yeah,
And how about
it's okay.
you, Chad? Were you able to keep yourself under control there? Were you already in bed, or were you there doing some karaoke too?
I was watching a few people, but I wasn't there too long that night, to be honest with you. It's a fun time though. It's just fun to go and hang out with everybody and see people because, especially me, like I this year I TD'd the pro pool just like last year, so
Okay.
there were certain divisions that I literally just didn't see.
Right.
Three courses, three course directors. So it's cool, like when you go to those things and there's people that were maybe playing at MacArthur and Dick Hart all those days, and I was at Rose Hill mainly. To see those people say, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And "Hey, yeah, good to see you again," just because I just haven't seen them yet. With such a tournament spread across three different courses, it can be difficult to bump into everybody. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
good like social atmosphere for that kind of stuff, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I can remember as well as like, so I was just at a tournament this weekend where there was a beer gardens, which was great. It was an outdoor tent and that could be set up for so long, but then it becomes weather dependent. But at MacArthur Island, you have an actual enclosed room kind of bar area, cafeteria area that rain or shine, you can be there as long as the city doesn't shut you down, I guess, is as long as you can be
As
there, right?
long as you rent it. And we usually have the doors open by 8:30 in the morning, and they usually
Right.
close by 10:30 at night, just depending on what's going on. So it's not even just at night. It's before your round if you need to come in and grab some air conditioning, or after your round and you want to meet up with somebody or you're waiting for your ride. The bar opens at noon, so you can come in and have a beer and cry in your beer over your round or meet up with that friend. Or so it's that opportunity to always have a common place to meet for that social piece of the event.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been to Worlds twice, and my first Worlds was shotgun start. My second World was tea times. On the shotgun start, it was super cool because when the round finished, we were all in the parking lot. We were tailgating, waiting for rides, having a beer. And then on the tea times, you just kind of lost that, and you had to wait till you went back to vendor village or you met up for an evening event.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I always thought if I ran a really big event, that's the community piece. That's the piece
Yeah.
that I want people to remember. I want people to be like, I had a great round, but oh my God, you should have saw my buddy at karaoke. Like I really want those things to matter, because you
Right.
travel from so far away and you pay like 5 nights in a hotel and you're eating all your meals out. It's not just about the competition, I don't think. And if it
Yeah.
is, then you have that choice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great points for sure. Well,
Yeah.
one of the other things with the tournament this year, and we chatted about it previously, but to new listeners, we want to bring it up again,
Mm-hmm.
is that in an effort to improve the player and pro experience, your team chose to stagger the start of the tournament, having the AMs play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then
Uh-huh.
have the pros play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we see you're giggling already, so we just
I
kind of wanted to
froze.
know, tell us about it and how did it work out?
Well, I thought it'd be a really good idea
Yeah,
because people. Sorry, my family is coming home and my dog's barking.
That's
that's
okay.
okay.
The players in the survey said that they were upset they never got to see the pros play because they always played at the same time.
Right.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's
you're
okay.
okay. And so I was like, what if we do this? They did it at Canadians, and then everyone has the opportunity to stay and watch. Well, that didn't really work out. But what really was even worse was that um, we just did it, and we didn't really think of the outcome on the back end until I'm pretty sure Chad can fill you in on my mistakes.
All right, Chad,
It'll
sounds
never
like the
happen
floor
again.
is
It'll
yours.
never happen again.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as in retrospect as Carrie makes it out to be, but it can just be a challenge because the say like MA1, their round one is on Thursday, and MPO's round one is on Friday, and they both played Rose Hill for round one,
Hmm.
right? So you can see on the back end the confusion where um if you don't set it up properly and you just hit go, there's going to be MPO and MA1 players on the same card on PG Live scoring.
Oh, right. Yeah.
and then but on different days, right? So and then I thought I had fixed it after I talked to the PDJ, and it turns out I didn't fix it. And then like the night before the tournament, maybe 2 nights before, the PDJ reached out again and was like, "Hey, this still isn't fixed. This is how we're going to fix it." So at the end of the day, it ended up not being a huge deal, but it led to more confusion than was necessary, I think, at least on
Right.
the back end of things.
Because
But I
from
got it
the way
sorted
that
out.
you explained it, Carrie, and I know we discussed it, and we
Mhm.
thought that's a great way. Like you said, start a day earlier. You'll be able to stay later because we've said that we never
Mhm.
get to see the pros finish because they're either on another course or we're playing at the same time. So we
Mhm.
figured that would work out. What we also thought you might see is that maybe there might be larger crowds following the pros around, or maybe even I know when we went down to spring runoff, I caddied for one of the pros because I had the time to do that, and we were maybe thinking that you might have seen that happen. Did at least that part of the outcome did it come about, or did a lot of people maybe finish the round on the Saturday and then took off?
Yeah, I'm going to say the majority of the people that spectated on Sunday were locals.
Okay.
Right.
People did plan to stay. Like we had people that stayed because they were traveling with a pro or they wanted to actually see Thomas play because they had never been able to before.
Hmm.
But I'll say 3/4 of the people were locals that came and spectated. So that's okay.
Yeah.
But like the only other way that it would have been cut and dry on the back end for Chad is if we would have run two separate tournaments, like an
Okay.
AM tournament and a pro
Yeah.
tournament, like the BC Open, but
Right.
run them on the same weekend. Then it's just two sets of paperwork, but it's super clean. Like
Yeah.
Right.
it's not that hard to do. So I just, in my excitement to try to please everybody and pivot again and react to the feedback, probably should have just reached out to the PDGA first and asked, but
Mm.
we learned our lesson and it wasn't worth the extra volunteers and the extra time and the extra setup and the day ahead trying to close everything. Um,
Right.
we'll just have it all on one weekend again. And hopefully if you have more courses, you can manage it so that AMs finish earlier and maybe set the pros off an hour later and they can catch a piece of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I can say even in this tournament that I was in over the past weekend, it was 2 rounds at the same course with 2 different divisions on one day. So they had to run a real tight ship, and you could only do a a shotgun start, right? You couldn't do rolling tee times. But one of the things that happened is we're in the middle of summer. I think my second round started at 5 o'clock in the evening. And I think having some of that separation maybe too is that people can go and get some rest, have a shower, and then come back and get as much of that second round in as they want. So yeah, I think you're doing all the right things for sure to coming up with new ideas and trying it. Because if
Yeah.
you don't try it, how do you know if it's going to work?
Exactly. And I think that's where our team, like the survey will go out here by the end of the week and we'll take a look at it when we do our postmortem. We'll meet in a month or two and we'll go over the good, the bad, what could be done better, what should we get rid of, what's our goal for next year. Like this was our smallest tournament yet for participation. And there's lots of factors in that.
Hmm.
Having the A tier the weekend before and the weekend before
Mhm.
and the economy but um, someone said it really nicely to me, and I really liked this. Is that like this was? I'll digress a bit. This was the first tournament Capital Open that people like literally on their way out of town stopped by and said, "You know what? This was amazing. Best time yet. The courses were great. Your team's great." Like the praise and the love that we felt, and even from the beginning with the players packs and stuff, this was awesome. Like no negative feedback, no bad interactions, no
Right.
hey, I really like this, um, but we only had 200 players. And I
Mhm.
think like a few people said to me, I think what's happened is the TCO has weeded out who actually really wants to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they just need to spread the word. So, like we're prepared for 400 players. We had 3 courses, we had kick ass course directors, um, and we have the facilities. So it's just a matter of spreading the word. We're not ever going to downgrade what we do because we have less players. We're just going
Right.
to keep it status quo. And the other thing I had somebody say to me, and it was actually Noah, and it's okay because we had this conversation. He said, you know, going to the BC Open on the pro side felt prestigious. And he's like, and I'm coming to Kamloops for this TCO, and it's an A tier, and I'm
Hmm.
playing for money, but it doesn't have kind of that prestige feel. It just kind of has like this community family feel. And
Right.
I was
Okay.
like, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the BC Open's been around 20 years.
Hmm.
Craig took the chance of dividing the pros and ams, and like he said in your interview, the pro side was to have that feel. They played 3 rounds, one course, they know the rules, to have that prestigious feel of it. And
Hmm.
then you come to TCO and you're playing for good money. It's
Hmm.
great courses, but you still have more of like that laid back family community feel
Right.
and the ability to come and take part in after hours. And that's to have those two separate A tiers in one province, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd agree. And I think, as you said, is the only thing maybe is that the back to back, and we saw that with a couple of our local tournaments too, that it's a little tougher with that, but that's just the way it was this year. And I'm sure giving that little bit of space so everyone who wants to do both has the time to do
Yeah.
both for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah. Like
you are exact. Yeah.
we
Go ahead.
saw a lot of Langley that usually comes didn't come, and a
Mm.
lot of
Right.
Edmonton. It was the Edmonton Open, so we had a
Yes.
lot
Yeah.
of the Alberta crew that would normally come that didn't because they chose to go to Edmonton, which is fair. It's close to home, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I think it's just a matter of having the PDGA understand as well that just because we meet the distance requirements for an A tier in that time frame, I don't think they realize that we all rely on the same demographic of player to
Right.
Hmm.
fill those tournaments, right? It's not like going down to the Dallas Fort Worth area and throwing down 3 A tiers in 3 weekends and they all sell out with 400 players. Like they have the population base.
Yeah.
We just don't anywhere in Canada to do that and have them all fill. But you don't have to fill to be successful.
That's
Yeah.
right. For
And
sure.
I would
Yeah.
agree with what you said, or not agree with what you said because I've never played TCU and for but what Noah said about the feel. But your words on um that it feels a bit more like a community event or feels like more of a homely, like I don't know how you exactly described it, but it seems like you know what you want the event to be and you're not trying to be something that you're not. You know what you want to be. You are that event. You're not trying to be a prestigious BCO. You're trying to be
Yeah.
TCO. You're trying to be Tournament Capital Open. And that's the event. If people want to come and play it, like you said, the people that want to play, come and play it.
Mhm.
And if they spread the word of how good of an event it is, you'll get the people that want to come and play that event.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like there's space for everybody. And I think you need variety of events to continue to keep it fresh for people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, you had mentioned something there, Carrie, and I want to put this one to you, Chad. Was she mentioned the players packs and the feedback on that? Well, we saw pictures of those player packs for this year, and they looked pretty slick. So we want you to maybe let our listeners know what the players got this year, and that tell us a bit about the sourcing that decisions that you made on where you got the product this year.
Well, I need to throw that one at Carrie, honestly, because like our relationship with these tournaments is, like she's really the person who does so much of the planning leading up to it, along with all of the people that help us.
Okay.
But she's the one sourcing the players packs
Okay.
and working for the players and getting everything going, all the events, everything else. And then as soon as the tournament goes live on Disc Golf Scene, I take over all that stuff and I do
Gotcha.
all the Disc Golf Scene stuff. I do all the PGA backend stuff. I manage all the digital things. I get all the messages from the players about things. Um, and then on the weekend of, she's sequestered for the most part, I think, to Tournament Central, and we barely see each other on tournament weekend for a few
Okay.
minutes here or there.
Right.
Um, but I'm the one out there, sort of like mentoring the other course directors, answering questions they have all day. Constant messages from people. Um, Managing the players at the courses, doing tea times all day. Um,
Okay.
you know, if somebody doesn't show up to a group, I'm changing their groups around on the PGA backend on the fly to try to get everything running smoothly and sort of doing that for all three of the courses. So it's two very different jobs. Um,
Yes.
she is more crazy going into the event, and then I use the term loosely, gets to relax a tiny bit. Um, And then I'm not quite so much leading into it, but as soon as it comes time to start painting lines and dropping flags in the ground and getting the tea card or the tea times made and the cards made, that's where most of my work comes in. So
Well, and I appreciate you telling us that, because that really paints the picture quite well, and it's almost like you think a front of house, back of house type thing.
Mhm.
So
Totally.
you're doing the stuff with the sponsors on one side, Carrie, and then like you said, the tournaments were not jiving as much, and someone's got to figure it out with the PDGA. Chad, you're there. That sounds like the best team you could have, having
Yeah.
the two people doing that. So I go ahead.
And it literally is like I send out like a group email and I'll be like, okay, Elizabeth, here's what we're doing. I need this done for fundraising. Chad, you need to connect with your course directors. Like I had no idea who our course directors were until the weekend came. Like I didn't
Okay.
know because Chad's doing that with those guys. They have their own message group. They've been walking the course. They know what needs to be flagged. They know what OB and hazard they're laying down. I look at the caddy book if someone asks me something. So I'm like, I think I got a question for Chad. Call him.
Yeah,
So yeah, I literally separate myself from it because
that's good.
Chad does such a good job at it. And that's why I don't ever like to use the term assistant TD. We're co-TDs. We're
Hmm.
Yeah,
literally working just as hard equally, but on two different jobs.
yeah,
And yeah, so I'll go back to your players packs.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, so the players, we had about $105 net to play with from the entry fees after we removed all the pass-through fees.
Right.
So if you've run a tournament and you're trying to get the player their like 200% retail cost and you have this money to spend, we had to think quick. We did have an agreement with MVP and with Grip Equipment.
Mm.
okay,
And we would have had to start ordering in April, and that's when the tariffs were coming in and the dollar was really
right,
crappy. And we started crunching hard numbers. We sat at my kitchen table, the whole team, and one night and we brought out the calculators and the paper and did all these scenarios. And the next morning, I had to make phone calls to Grip and to MVP and bawled my eyes out like a baby because I was so excited about what we could have offered them, but there's just no way we could have done it.
right,
So that same night when we were all sitting around, I was like, well, we got to spend our money in Canada. Like the only way we're going
yes,
to get any value is to spend it in Canada.
Hmm.
So we're like, okay, the jerseys are easy. They come from Top Link. They're made in Toronto from a business called Kono in
right,
downtown Toronto. And I've been there. I've been on the factory floor. I met the people that sublimate, cut, sew, package. I met everyone, and I feel really good supporting that business. I know that they're making good wages. They work decent hours. So
yeah,
Hmm.
the jersey was Mike Romanowskis. He took our vision and he ran with it, and I thought they were beautiful. And then the goat towel, we used the
Hmm.
same, and we went to Goat, and they were amazing in giving us a great price and supporting us, even though their costs are going up. They honored the
right,
price they had quoted us before Christmas, which was like my heart is so full because of that.
Hmm.
And then we had a local butcher. One of our guys knows a local butcher, so we did local jerky. So from a local butcher shop, got
Oh,
a huge bag of jerky.
right,
yeah.
Bigfoot Trading is our local disc store, but they also do like shirts and mugs and all natural body care. So they did a bar of soap for us
right,
that said it was soap for disc golfers when your scorecard's clean, but you're not, I think is what it said on it.
right,
And I worked with them and they gave me these samples. We created a scent of things that grow wild in the Thompson Valley.
right,
So the scents that are in there are all things that come from the Thompson Valley. Farming Karma is out of the Okanagan, and they sent us drinks, sparkling fruit drinks for everybody.
Okay.
Um, the soap that I'm trying to think, goat.
yeah,
Oh, the city put in sunglasses. I'm missing something. Oh, our lanyard, our players pass,
Yeah.
yeah,
got you exclusive parking. So the city of Kamloops fences off parking, and it was insane. We had 88 soccer teams from across British Columbia on Mac Island, and so
Okay.
they gave us our own parking lot that the feral soccer parents we fought with for 2 days weren't happy about. But so, and then on there, we also had 4 community sponsors that all players, including pros, could get perks from if they had their players pass on them.
right.
Um, Forgive me, I'm totally blanking on what else was in there.
Well, it sounds like a
Um,
lot, that's for sure. And
yeah, and just trying to make it all happen inside of our. Oh, here we go. Oh, coffee. Canterbury coffee is roasted in Burnaby. So one of our disc golfers said, "Hey, I'll put a bag of coffee in everyone's players pack."
Great.
The honey shots, the honey gels, they're from
Yeah.
Saskatchewan. So
Okay.
Oh
we
yeah.
got those.
Yeah.
So every player got 2 of those in their bag. And then, yeah, some stickers from the City of Kamloops, pair of sunglasses from the City of Kamloops. And I was really worried because in the past we've done like, well, umbrellas, but they exploded. We've done stools. We've done, the juniors got baskets. Like we've had these manufacturer players packs that just seemed like they had such a big value to them.
Right.
And then I kept on looking at the players pack and I'm like, have we done enough? And we did. We spent the $105. Like
Yeah.
it's, by the time you pay for premium beef jerky and you pay everything in Canadian dollars, you're spending it at home, but it's not like ordering it from China where you're getting it for 50 cents a piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah.
supporting local businesses, small businesses. And the rave reviews that we got were just insane. Like people loved it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a success, but it took a lot and we really pushed it on the trophies were something we
Yes.
were like down the last month. And I'm like, what are we doing for trophies? And again, you have to budget inside of that as well for trophies. So 2 of our board members, Thomas and Darren, 3D printed the trophies and hand painted and hand airbrushed all 67 trophies.
Wow. Yeah,
Oof.
we were
Yeah,
just that you're leading right into our next question because we saw those pictures, those trophies. They looked awesome. They incorporated that new owl mascot theme that you
yeah,
you kind of debuted there. And I was going to say, how did you come up with them? But yeah, just to see that they were individually hand painted, all 67. That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, so just bringing the team together and putting our heads together at the last minute, coming up with something that, was it cost effective? They worked inside the money I had. They're
Hmm.
probably being generous by taking my budget and
Mhm.
saying, okay, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Not even probably, they are being generous for sure. I think the printer ran for 10 days straight to make those trophies. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the owl, I had a few people reach out to me and ask about the significance of the owl. So the owl has been part of TCO since day one, and
Right.
it's because the great horned owls nest on Mac Island. So
Okay.
often, depending on the time of year you're there, you'll see them, or you'll see their little fluffy owlets that are there, and I think that's what you call them, owlets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't question it, so yeah, it sounded right.
So yeah, so and they're protected, and it's kind of a rift between the naturalists and ourselves was the reason why they didn't want us there was because they nested there, but they
Hmm.
nest so high up in the trees that it's not an issue. But so
Mhm.
we honored the fact that they're there, and the owl has always been a piece of TCO somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jeremy and I had that discussion just before we came on because we mentioned about the new logo that you had, and it was the owl that it was
Yeah,
there last year, and I said no, I don't think they had it last year. But when you look at the symbol, your logo that you had last year, you had the owl, but it had a helmet on it, which kind of
yeah,
in my when I first looked at it, yeah, there you go. It kind of masked it a little bit there. You've got
yeah,
the dominant helmet with the owl eyes there, but
yep.
you definitely put the owl forefront in your new logo for sure. And it looks, I mean,
And
it looks amazing.
people loved it. So next year's our 5 years. So we've already started talking to Mike and seeing what we can do for the players. Again, like that comes back to the players. Like they love the
Mhm.
players pack. They love the jerseys. We've started something. So yeah, it's just listening
Yeah.
to the player and hopefully we can match this year's. So
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, we a couple of weeks ago we had the River City Cup in Edmonton here, and our tournament director and VP Brock Giacchetti did exactly the same thing as you. He decided to try and source everything from Canada or at least local, and we had the same. We had beef jerky, we had rolled oats as part of the players pack, and other miscellaneous things like that. But I don't know about you, Jeremy, but I would 100% take a smaller players pack that was locally sourced,
Mhm.
and everything from Canada versus maybe trying to get, like you said, the fancy discs or jerseys from out of town or America, having to deal with any of that. I would much rather have soap. And then somebody in our chat also said, love the soap. Now that's thinking outside the box because that's just something that is so unique that you don't see in players packs. And the fact that you kind of narrowed it down a little bit more to say, okay, what's locally grown?
Mhm.
What's going to remind you of the area? And just to get that scent from that would be amazing.
Yeah. And on top of that, it's something that everybody uses, and if they don't, maybe
Maybe they need to.
they
Regift
should.
it, give it away as a CTP prize or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't know if uh, Craig Snow listens, if he's listening from Ontario, but when he did the towels for us, he said that it was easily one of their favorite designs they've ever done. So
Okay.
I did a banner. So everyone that gave something or gave us a deal, I did banners for Tournament Central. So I'm gonna roll up their banner and ship it to them, and I'm gonna tuck a goat towel in for them. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
we did have Craig and Jen on the show a while back, and such great
yeah,
people, and yeah, they support us as well. So every
Yeah.
now and then, I'm sure they're tuning in. But as we
that's
get ready to kind of wrap up and let you go, and I want to get Chad back talking here for a minute. So I'm gonna
yeah.
throw this one to you to start, Chad, and then back over to Carrie. So over the weekend, you guys were doing different things. You were all over the courses and that. What was a memorable moment or maybe a highlight for you of the weekend that kind of is going to encapsulate TCO 2025 for you? And it can even be just trying to figure out PDGA if that's really what it was. But
Hmm. Um, I don't know. It's tough because I see so many people all day long, right? I think just for me on like kind of a personal level, but also do with the tournament. I really liked how tight a lot of the groups were. In the final round, a lot of the people, it really came down to a couple of holes, and in particular, Chance came back by a couple of strokes back at Mac Island to take down MP40, and he's a good friend of mine,
Hmm.
and I always love to see that guy succeed. So, and that he played a great round, and it still stayed close even with him playing a really good round. So that for me was a big highlight. Like I said, we're good friends, so I'm always happy when he does well. And shy that just I just like to see the people like I send through groups all day long, and there's people I literally see once a year um, when they come to town to play our tournaments, and that's the highlight for me is just seeing people that I don't see very often. That come to town and are kind enough to come and play our events, and I make sure to thank every single group when I send them out every single time. So I
Yeah,
say
that's
thank you for
awesome.
coming. So
yeah, that's great, Chad.
Yeah. And
And
Carrie, if you could just pick
I
one
think
highlight.
one highlight would probably be Noah. It was pretty cool. He stayed with me all week, and we talked about the BC Open win and just watching him. His game has matured so much, but so has
Hmm.
he as a
Right.
player. And watching him like take his sleep seriously and his nutrition and going to bed early and not really having only a couple drinks after the round, not sitting around and drinking late or anything. Like
Mm,
just really being that mature player, knowing that he had to play golf in the morning. And
Right.
it was really neat to witness. And in that same vein, watching these juniors, I say juniors, I could say kids,
Yeah.
that started playing TCO 4 years ago, that like, the Novak boys moving up into the MA and MP divisions,
Yep.
Judah Hawks coming up with
Yes.
all his friends and watching them, like they've grown as players over the 4 years or the 3 years they've been coming to TCO. And it's just so neat to see them still walk into Tournament Central and say hi. And, I get to congratulate them on their BC Open wins and just to see them play again. And this year, the Cochrane boys, I just got to give a shout out. Those boys,
Yeah.
um, absolutely amazing. I'm not 100% sure how old they are. I'm like maybe 14, 15, maybe younger
so-
than that. They
Yeah.
took first and second in MA1. And
oh,
just like, it's just so neat to see those juniors
Right.
moving up. And I guess I'm getting old, is what I'm trying to say. But no, that was the highlight for me. And then overall, just the love and gratitude that people showed our team all weekend for the event. Like it was just, I still haven't written a Facebook post or anything, just because I'm still trying to process the messages I'm getting, and I'm watching what people are posting on Facebook, and it's just, I'm grateful. My heart's full. This event is exactly what I would hope it would be.
oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That it sounds awesome. Yeah. Now, we know these big tournaments can't happen without you two. but we also know that you've got a big team. And I know you just mentioned there about you haven't had a chance to put it out on Facebook, or, you're still processing things like that. But you've obviously got a big team of volunteers you mentioned earlier, and you mentioned the sponsors. This is a time where we just kind of want to let you have a chance to actually give them a shout out and thank them. Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Sure. I will thank our immediate team. So Thomas Griffin, Allison, um, Justin, Elizabeth, Troy, uh, oh my gosh, Colin, Andrew Klassen, Painting Lines with Chad, Bruce and his team up at Rose Hill, evening and night, Darren. Um, I know I'm missing people locally that they put their heart and soul into these courses and
Mm-hmm.
fundraising and running the event. And then none of it would really happen without the city of Kamloops. So we didn't have a major sponsor this year. The KDGC did this. MVP came in and supported our juniors by giving them discs in
Yep.
their players pack, discs, towels, and minis. But the city of Kamloops, honestly, they came in big. They pick up a huge bill every year and ensure that our sport's just as respected as any other sport in Kamloops. So huge shout out to them, and we really appreciate the relationship we have with them.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Do you have anything to add, Chad?
No, I think Carrie got it all. But yeah, just like thanks to the club and all they did, and to get ready for the event, and especially to Troy and Justin, the two other course directors. Like, I've been TDing tournaments for I think about 15 years now, and for a long time, I was one of the only people in the area sort of doing it, along with Colin McKinnon on a unsanctioned level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's these new people are coming in, and they're really eager to run tournaments, and they're really eager to be on the ground, and out there calling tee times and doing things, and it's just great because I know with people like Troy and Justin, they put in so much work, that like and they have a lot of passion behind it. That I know the sport's in good hands, and I'll still be around for a long time yet. But it's really good to have good people on the ground. So.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. I just want to stay with you with Chad just for a minute because, like Jeremy said at the top of the show, that you are sponsored by Dynamic Discs, and we had a couple questions from the chat here. So I'm just going to stay with you. First one, well, they're both from Doc Zen, but he wants to know, do you have a lemon scented judge?
I don't have a lemon scent to judge, actually. No.
Okay, and then the second question, can you ask him what that giant yellow disc is on the top left hand corner?
Which you,
That's like I think that's just like a Discrap multi disc, just for playing catch with now and then. I've
There
just
you
had
go.
this thing forever and ever and ever and ever. So
Right.
yeah, it's just
We,
just an Ultra Star.
Fair enough. We
nice.
always like to involve the chat when they have questions for you. So I said I would ask. So there we go.
Perfect.
All
Well,
right.
and that kind of takes us to the end there. So we want to thank you both for doing what you're doing, putting on amazing tournaments, and thank you for being on the podcast tonight. And we hope to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks.
And to
Have a
all
good
the
night.
players, all the players that trust us and come, thank you so much. We love you guys.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Great way to end. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks.
Well, Daryl,
Yeah.
another tournament recap show done. And I think, if I do say so myself, another great tournament recap show.
The great thing about this tonight and every episode that we do, I like it when we have returning guests
Yes.
because now we've been doing it for 87 episodes or over 100 episodes in total.
Mm-hmm.
We can now say this person's been on 3 or 4 times before, but it's also nice to get those people that it's their first time being on the podcast.
Yes.
And that's the good thing about what we do here at Chain Out Podcast. We always say we promote and we're all about Canadian disc golf. We're getting to the point where we've had people on before, but there's still so many people out there that we haven't spoken to,
Yep.
and we just want to highlight them and say thanks to them as well. So it was good speaking to Jessica and to Chad tonight.
Yes, I would agree 100%. And as we get into the fall and we get into that kind of more off season that we have, that's when showtime frees up. And then we get to reach out to other different people as well. So
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Daryl. Yeah, well, Team Daryl is pretty good. I will admit. I agree with you, Doug.
That was just maybe a little in joke between me and Doc there.
Fantastic. Well, we never did finish our Tapa show. We can get back to that, and we hope that you continue to pay attention and listen to us tonight here now that all the guests are done, because we do have our giveaways that we were going to show next. But before we get to that, this is a great time.
You wrote it. You really want to do this Tapa show?
Well, no, I was going to say it's just a great time for everybody to maybe jump on to you if you're watching us on YouTube right now, or if you're listening to us on an audio podcast a little bit later, hop over to YouTube and subscribe to the podcast. We really appreciate it. We're always pushing, speaking of giveaways, getting to our 500 subscribers on YouTube, and we'd like to give away the prize pack for that just keeps growing every week. Yeah. Maybe people are going to slow play the subscribing just because of that.
Yeah, the longer it takes to get to 500, the more stuff we're going to add into it. I don't know if that's the thing, but maybe it is.
Well, that's one of the ways you can support us there. You can also follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. If you've done all those types of things, you've told your friends, you've told strangers, and you've hashtag Team Daryl in every post that you can do.
Can we start a thing? Can we do hashtag Team Daryl?
Sure, I'll hashtag Team Daryl. Then what you can do is go check out our Patreon. You can join us there at so many different levels. You can join it free or at a paid one. If you do choose a paid level, you get a chance to be automatically entered into all of our contests. And the other thing you get right away out of that is the live links to join us for our Around the Basket episodes that happen after the regular Chain Out episode.
Absolutely. And there is a link.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Daryl, why don't we jump to the giveaways? Because everybody who's hanging around is maybe wanting to see what we're giving away. So
we got 3 giveaways.
And we'll start.
We're a little bit behind. Start with that one.
Yeah, so 3 giveaways. What's going on here?
I know. It's like a bus. You wait for one and 3 come along at the same time.
There you go. So the one giveaway that we had done and we closed it on Sunday was this Fractal A2 that we've got, a Prodigy disc. It looks quite nice. It's got a kind of splattery look, that fractal look to it. But then it's got an emerald green foil stamp on there.
You know, we love our we love our chat, right? We love people that are interacting in the chat. We always say, if you're watching live, we encourage you. If you're not watching live, we encourage you to watch live and put a comment in the chat. But it seems like every time Doc says something, I have to highlight it. So he says that rumor is, by 500, one of the prizes is to be the 3rd host. I'm not sure we're going to go that far, but
we have had guest hosts.
We've had guest hosts, exactly. So maybe it's not too far away.
Maybe we could have a guest host, and one of us could be the guest to be interviewed.
Ooh, maybe should we do that for episode 100?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
To 2 people maybe who say, yeah, I could do what those guys do.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy.
Just throw them in the chair.
Yeah, as Jeremy found out. And I couldn't do your job either. So anyway, let's get on with the A2 Fractal giveaway. Let's see who won the disc.
Yeah, let's do it.
There you go. Congratulations to Chris Finlayson, or
otherwise known
Mr. Graybeard Disc Golf.
Yeah.
And
Chris is actually a newer listener, or I don't know if he was listening before, but you met him at Smith Lake Farms. Yeah. He ended up becoming a Patreon member as well.
And you know what? That was his winning entry. Just for being a Patreon member, he, like Jeremy said, you get a free entry into all competitions, or a bonus entry. And that was the one that won it for him. So congratulations, Chris.
So we'll be reaching out to you in socials there,
yeah,
and you can get us your address information, and we'll make sure that disc gets out to you. So congratulations there, Chris.
Now, something that we didn't do last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or maybe last week, is we did the BCO event. We did the BCO Fantasy League. We came back and we did our episode 86, the recap episode.
Yes.
But we never did our $10 giveaway gift card for the Instagram.
Right,
vote.
the BR Disc Golf.
The BR. So let's see who won a gift card from BR for the BC Open voting on Instagram.
Okay. I'm loving the music choice on that one, Daryl.
I had to mix it up a little bit. I didn't want to have the same music 3 times in a row. But so for people that don't know, Diamond Valley Disc Golf is a new course in Alberta. Um, he, so the actual owner of the account, I guess you would say, person that designed the course is Ian Penhaligon. So he was also on the wheel as well. So, you always say, make a second account, make a third account and vote and do things like that. So, part of, him following us on Instagram as well, it means he got 2 votes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Congratulations to Diamond Valley Disc Golf for
Yeah.
winning. You get a BR Disc Golf gift card. Will be on its way to you. We'll let you know.
We'll get that out to you, Ian, there. And
So-
I'm going to be actually down in Calgary area by that new course in a couple weeks.
There you
And
go.
Ian and I were chatting about trying to get out there and getting me to play around, and I'm totally up for that.
Yeah.
I might have to drag you down just to get a chance to play the course.
Yeah, I know. Maybe. You never know. So that was the BC Open. And then obviously we just did the TCO recap. So we've got to do a giveaway for
Another
one for the Instagram people that
Another
voted
one.
on TCO. And let's roll that one right now.
Daryl.
So there you go. KVA, also known as Kate Spencer. We had
Okay.
the pleasure of meeting Kate 2 years ago at She's Up First.
Yes.
She was on a card with Sonia, and I was walking around with her. Unfortunately, she got injured into the second round, and then you took over and met her
Mhm.
and escorted her back to Tournament Central and able to help her off the course.
Yes.
So congratulations to you, Kate. So we've got Greybeard,
Yes.
Chris,
Winning the Fractal
Yeah.
Prodigy A2.
and then we've got Diamond Valley Disc Golf, also known as Ian Penhaligon, winning the BR gift card
For
for
BCO.
BCO, and then Kate winning the TCO
Mhm.
gift card. So congratulations to all our winners. We will contact you through the Instagram account or Facebook account, with it being the Facebook giveaway for the Fractal.
Yes, you bet.
And we will contact everybody, and we will ask you for just the minimum amount of information we need.
That's right. And Daryl, that ends kind of the giveaways for the moment. Or does it?
Whoa.
So here's what I'm thinking. I was out at the Edmonton Open and I got 2 discs.
Right.
And anytime I get 2 discs, I don't need that many new discs, do I? I probably only need 1. So let me tell you a little bit about the 2 discs I got. We were given some Trash Panda discs that have Flat Boy burgers, which made some pretty great burgers. They were a sponsor
They
there.
were the title sponsor.
And we got lucky. We got a 2-for-1 deal, and that was fantastic. And what we got is I have this Red Dune. It's a 176 gram one.
176.
Yeah, I believe so. Looking at that. Yes.
Easy boy.
And then I got this little blue mini that has the Flat Boy Burgers stamp on it.
Yeah.
And then the other disc I got was an orange 175 gram Ozone. So I've got an Ozone or a Dune.
Right.
And now we have the predicament. Which one are we going to give away next?
Are we putting it out to the chat?
We're going to put it out to the
Well,
chat. And
you
if
could
we
have
don't,
said that first so they had a chance to answer.
well, that's fine. If we don't get an answer from them, I'll pick one.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll let the winner choose one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe winner's choice.
So you're going to give away either an Ozone or a Dune.
And the mini to go with it.
Okay.
So one of these 2 discs is going to be given away. And the way we're going to do it, we've been mixing things up. This time what we were going to ask for
Mm-hmm.
is we'll put a post on Instagram and Facebook, but what the request will be is to subscribe to us on YouTube. If you haven't already done that, let's help boost those subscriptions, and then make a comment on one of our videos. Which one? Anyone, your favorite one. Pick a video, make a comment, that puts you in. And of course, our Patreon members will automatically be entered as well.
So we want the chat to tell us which one they would like to win.
Yeah. And if they don't, we'll probably put both
Yeah.
of them up and we'll say winner's choice.
Okay. So
Yeah.
either the Dune or the Ozone.
Exactly. And I did give them, you know how you'd like me to say they're pristine brand new. I had to give them a test flight.
They've
And they
only been
both
thrown
fly pretty
once.
good. Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't mark them. I didn't put my name on them. Nothing like that. Just said, how do they fly? And they both fly pretty darn good.
Is it kind of like when you take a car out of the dealership, you're like, you've lost the value already?
No, there's no sticker loss or anything on
No?
this. No,
Okay.
they're still fresh. There's no name or number on the back or anything like that. So
Doc says the red one.
the red one. All right. Oh well, that one is kind of like your standard
Dune?
little neutral mid range.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the Dune.
Mm-hmm.
One vote Dune so
One
far.
foot Dune. So if Doc wins, we know which one he's picking.
There you
If
go.
that's the way we go. Okay, well that kind of caps that up, Daryl. You know what? We normally would recap what's going on in DGPT. Pretty much what we can tell you is Crocol Open happened. Sophia Donica was out there. She played pretty well. I think she tied for 12th. And then now is a DGPT major.
Yeah.
Which is the what do they call that one? The Disc Golf Festival. I think the European Disc Golf Festival.
Yeah.
And that's out in Tallinn, Estonia. And then we've got Sophia Donica's out there, and Thomas Gilbert, as we said, he jumped right over. Did we already talk about that?
No, I'm just wondering why you're not scrolling up so you can read it.
No,
you're trying to do
I'm
it all
just
by
doing
memory.
I'm doing it from what I've got here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that we would normally do at top of show, and we do it at bottom of show, so why don't we do it right now?
Yeah.
Is mention our sponsors.
Absolutely.
So we've got two major sponsors of the podcast, and that is BR Disc Golf. And BR Disc Golf, you can check them out online. They've got discs. They've probably got some of these Trash Panda, possibly. Who knows? They've got a ton of discs out there. But when we did talk to Brendan, what he let us know is that he just finished setting up a new course in Alberta out in Lougheed. It's actually, you were going to talk about this. So what was it that you learned about the course?
So it's a 9-hole beginner course, very suitable for beginners and the elderly. Basically a course just to get people out playing. So that's the new course that they've put in out there. Also, he wanted to mention that the Camrose course, one of his original courses, now has over 5,000 plays.
That's
on UDisc.
UDisc information.
And then also he also don't start reading. This is what used to be like, listeners, before we got professional. Okay, stop it.
All right, get back on track.
Back on track. First ever co-host of the show, Gabe Piska. We went to his fundraiser tournament last year. I don't know what it is with you.
We haven't had a live one like this in so long.
What are you doing to me, Jeremy? Okay.
But yeah, no, Gabe,
look at me.
Yep.
Okay, Gabe Piska. He was a... I can't do it. You take over.
Yeah, so last year we got a chance. And the podcast ends in laughter, and that's where we're at.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
So we ended up going out to Gabe Piska's event last year, and Gabe was working with a charity that was helping children and that kind of thing. That was out at Dog Rump. Is it Dog Rump?
Yep.
Out at the course there, out in Stony Plain. Oh man, this is the first time we broke down in so long.
My goodness, I'm crying.
You'll have to send us a direct message, and then I might tell Daryl what made us crack up like this.
I don't even know.
But yes, no, it's a great tournament last year, and it was out at Dog.
I don't even know what you're laughing at that time. Okay.
All right, let me get back to this.
We need to end it.
No, we're good. So yes, so it was a tournament last year at Dog Rump Creek, which is out in Stony Plain, and there was a great barbecue, and there was a lot of games and that type of thing, and free discs. Daryl's gonna have to walk away. But yeah, it was great, and it's going to be coming up again next month, and it'll be a great tournament. And so BR Disc Golf is one of our sponsors, and you can get 10% off if you use Chainout at checkout, and that will get you your discount there. And then also our other main sponsor is Cardinal Disc Golf, and you can get 10% off your gear. Daryl's leaving now. Just letting me finish. There we go. He's out of the way. We'll keep on going. But yeah, what you can do there is you can use chain out at checkout and you get 10% off as well. And we've got great jerseys out there. One of the things that's happening right now is there's another new Gannon Burr jersey, which is fantastic. It's been designed by Cobb, who does great designs. And we saw that cool looking owl that was on the TCO jerseys. And on this Gannon jersey, it's a nice green one and it's got a really cool bear on it. So also, if you'd like to get your own custom jerseys made for a tournament of yours, that can happen through Cardinal. And Kevin and Lane just had a couple jerseys made for Kevin's event, which is coming up, which is the Cardinal Clash. So Daryl's got a couple of those jerseys up there for you.
There you go. That's the Ganon Bear.
Yeah, and that one looks really awesome. I love the way, like with the claws, and just that design is pretty cool. Cobb does such good artwork.
Yeah. And then there's the Cardinal Clash, the tournament series, the custom jersey that you were just talking about. There's the front and a gorgeous. What I like about it is it's not just plain white and red.
Mhm.
Like it's almost like I don't know, like a light blue, like a teal, like a cyan, or
Yeah.
maybe not a cyan, not as dark as that, but it's not your boring red and white or black and white, blue and white, anything like that. It's got the offset color, which I really like.
Yeah, it almost has like a Canadian feel to it too, with the red and the whitish look there to it. But yeah, and as we were talking about earlier there, we were saying, yeah, the Camrose had over 5,000 plays on UDisc, which is really cool. And we've been talking about trying to get down there to go play that course, but we haven't had a chance yet. But I've heard that the way it got set up by BR and Brendan is if you're playing from the shorts, it's one course, and if you get to the longs, which is not that much further away, it's the same 9 holes just with a second tee pad, totally alters the course, changes the difficulty. So really cool that way.
Yeah.
So and we kind of, when we were breaking up there, and thanks for everyone for hanging in with us, we were talking about Gabe's event, Gabe Piskus event that's happening out at Dog Rump Creek. Check that out too. The other two sponsors that we have.
Did we mention that we played it last year when Dog Rump was the initial opening of the course?
Of course.
It's now been worked in a lot more. They have half of the tee pads poured in now.
Mhm.
Signage is going up. The fairways are a bit more defined. They've been cut in a lot more. So if you're in the Edmonton area, if you want to support a good charity, the Kids on Track, which is Gabe's
Yeah, he works
company
with
that he
them
works for.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Or is a part of. Did you mention that it use 2 rounds of play in between barbecue? You get a disc as well. BR is helping get the custom stamp disc up for that event as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then when we were talking with Carrie and Chad there, they were mentioning Goat Towel and Craig Snow and Jen over there. And they support us as well by giving us a code, and that is COP15. It'll get you 15% off if you want to use that on their website. Get a fantastic towel. I wonder if they have extra TCO towels they would have printed. I don't think they usually do that, but with a design like that, maybe it inspired Craig for some other ones to come through. And then we also have a discount using Chain Out on Chains, the disc golf board game, and that'll get you 25% off. So that is awesome. And we are kind of getting to the end before this thing falls completely off the rails.
We're not done yet.
So we're going to go to our Patreon episode. Maybe hey, you know what? Maybe I don't know if I can tell you what we were laughing about or not on that episode, but maybe people need to tune in live.
I have no clue what you were laughing at.
And why
I
you
was
just
just laughing.
tore us apart.
I was just laughing at you. I just couldn't stop. I'm one of those people that once I go, I'm hard to. I cannot just suddenly turn off the laughter and keep a straight face. Like it's gonna come out. So
Yeah.
I apologize if you're listening, and it just sounded like laughter and like
Yeah.
sniggering. There was no.
Not really a
It
secret
wasn't-
joke. It's one of those ones where once one person goes,
Yeah.
it's hard to keep it together. And
That's
that's
it.
the way this friendship is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Usually you have the person who's the rock who can keep the other person on track. We're both the ones who fall into puddles. So thanks for hanging in with us there.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue on the Around the Basket episode, where you can go to Patreon and you can get the free link at any level when you join. And we're going to keep talking disc golf. We might laugh a little more. We'll have to see. And I did create a quiz for you, Daryl. So I got a quick quiz for you. It'll be one of those speed quizzes, but it's
Right.
not just for you.
Okay.
It's for the listeners as well. They can
course
play
it is.
along and
Always.
see if they can win as well.
Yeah.
So Daryl, how do you want to finish this?
Well, I just want to bring up the chat because the chat kind of lost it a bit when we
They,
lost
they
it as
start
well.
laughing too.
So Sonia says, breaking news, host leaves podcast in tears.
That's exactly it. I love it.
Doc said, can we for one week, can we change the code to dog rump? Like he likes the dog rump code. He said, Doc also said, Daryl, good on you for finishing strong. I'm staying team Daryl.
Perfect.
Good to
Good, good.
see. And, you know, Trevor Okrafka's in the chat as well. He just caught the end. Oh, Brooklyn, because Brooklyn's down in Emporia playing in Junior Worlds.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
hello,
we've
Brooklyn.
had Brooklyn on the podcast previously. So yeah, if you want to support any of the Canadians down at Junior Worlds,
Mhm.
go on to PDG Live, look up the Junior Worlds, and you can see where they're all playing. And we got a few down there.
Mhm.
Brooklyn, took part in. There's not just the Worlds
tournament,
event,
yeah.
there's the tournament, but there's also the putting in the long drive.
Mhm.
Brooklyn took down the long drive in her division as well. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I want to say I'm going off memory here, but I want to say it was like 383,
353, I think it was.
353.
Or they can correct me, but I think it was either 353 or 383, because I looked at all of the winning drives there. So you might be right on that one. I'm not too sure, but
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Like Brooklyn's game has come so far, and we spoke to her a year ago when we were doing one of our juniors episodes, and that's a great other lead in that. Pay attention for next week. We'll give you a little teaser here at the end of this episode that next week we are going to be doing another juniors episode. So we'll have 3 juniors on. We'll get a chance to talk to them and hear all about what they're doing, and maybe they're the next ones to take that step up like Brooklyn did this year.
absolutely.
And it was 353 is what Trevor said.
353, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great throw. I think
I'd be happy.
I think I've done that with a roller.
Yeah, downhill.
Yes, that's right. So fantastic. Well, yeah, congratulations, Brooklyn, and continue to play well down there. Thanks for jumping in there, Trevor. And Daryl, let's get to the end of this podcast with the only way you know how.
Well, and the other thing I want to mention about Brooklyn as well, because
Oh, okay.
we've spoken to Karen Martell.
Yes.
And a few times that she said she's played at Worlds,
Right.
and with diff and things like that. And whether it's just the fact that she always got there early and first, she was always the flag bearer.
Right.
Well, at Junior Worlds, let me see if I can.
I think we just get this up, and I think this is how we
do
walk
it.
this one through.
Yeah, there is Brooklyn carrying the flag for Canada at Junior Worlds in the opening ceremony. So congratulations to Brooklyn there.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The honor of carrying the Canadian flag tonight at Junior Worlds opening ceremony. So there you go. And let me see if I can just quickly find her long drive. And here it is. Here is the long drive, the winning drive.
353 foot.
And FJ15.
Yes. Look at that thing go.
Using the Latitude 64 Rive.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a throw. Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah. It's on loop. Well, Jeremy,
if you're going to throw a 353-foot drive like that down a fairway, and there's a basket at the end of that fairway, and you've been the flag bearer at World Juniors, and on top of that, you probably did pretty good in the putting, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to go up against this person and Colleen McInnes in a doubles match at Nationals. I think the way that Brooklyn's playing, and she's got a basket in front of her and it's 353 feet out and she throws that disc there, there's one thing that disc would never do.
Of course it wouldn't.
It couldn't possibly.
Keep going, because I'm not ready.
it would never chain out.
Thanks, everybody, for bearing with us.
We'll see you on Around the Basket.